Hello, everyone. Everyone, welcome to the Bears Den podcast. I am Andy. I'm joined by Todd today. Our partner in crime, Chicago Clarence, is here in spirit. He's selling parts in Columbia, South Carolina right now. So, Todd,
Working hard for the money.
yes, that man loves to work. He loves his job, which is good. He loves his promotion and he just loves it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Todd, it's just me and you today. It's probably going to be short. It's probably going to be sweet. But
Yeah.
how in the world can Matt Eberflus outdo himself? It's like the man says, "Hold my beer. I got a brand new way for us to lose."
Yeah.
How? How did we lose that game? In a game we were, me, you, and Chicago Clarence thought we would get embarrassed. All three of us thought we're going to get blown out in this one. So
Right.
how did we? How did we somehow even have a chance? But somehow our coaches got in the way.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like if you go back to a few games, like Washington expected to win, even during the game expected to win, and that was the beginning of our downfall. But on this game, you know, even even playing as well as we did and being competitive in it, I wasn't surprised that ball that got tipped at the line,
Mm-hmm.
the field goal. Just man, I think a lot of it is because of the Packers. So, we expect to lose, but I don't. Look, we had it. It was there. We should have won the game. It was bad coaching. It was bad time management at the end of the game. It was, we let that clock run down. We could have ran. We should have run two plays.
Yes, I
I'm
agree.
not an expert on blocked field goals, but seems to me the angle's different if you're closer. That's what I keep hearing. You know, if we'd have picked up 10 yards, that probably makes a difference on that angle because it was barely touched, but just enough. And that. And to get that monkey off our back with 10 straight games would have been, you know, it's just frustrating. It's just incredibly frustrating.
It's Yeah, I agree. It's just we were so close. And again, quite frankly, I did not think we had a chance. I thought
No.
if I would have been in Las Vegas, I would have put money on Green Bay covering the spread all day long because I thought for sure the way it was trending and the way this team was going, we were going to get blown out. We were going to
Right.
get embarrassed badly. So I was surprised we had a chance. But Todd, let me ask you something.
Mhm.
4:26 left in that game. We
Yeah.
had the ball fourth down. I can't remember. Me and Clarence were whispering back and forth. He wanted to go. I thought we should have went. I think it was on our side of 50, maybe it was 4th and 3. We
Right.
decided to punt. In hindsight, it's easy to say we should have kept the ball there because we know what was going to happen. But would you have gone for it there and tried to keep that ball in your hands?
Yeah, just their ability to just go down the field in no time. I think I would have. We were, because it's real popular these days. If you're midfield there, to just go for it. That's
Yes.
become this year has been more of a trend to do that, and Caleb had been hot. He had played well enough that you trust him to do that at this point. Even as a rookie, you trust him to do it at this point, and we should have done that. That 2 point conversion. I know on paper it says if the score is this, then you do this and all that, but man, as hard as points have been for us to come by, I know Clarence was raising hell about that.
Yes, he was.
At the
He
time, not after the fact, after we missed it, at the time before we ran the plays, like why aren't we taking a point here? And that would have been they would have it would have changed maybe the Packers mindset going down the field if it would if it had been one more point our way, or I don't remember the exact scenario on the score, but you just points are too hard for us to come by right now to run a 2 point conversion there. But anyway.
I would have also went for it there on on when we had it with 4:26 left.
Hmm.
I mean, we have nothing to lose, and Caleb was hot. I mean,
Yeah.
I would argue this might have been his best game as a pro outside of the Jacksonville game.
Right.
I mean, he looked really, really good. So that leads me to my next question. Overall, Thomas Brown, what do you think?
I think the players reacted better to him. I think they've been the Cardinal game and in the Patriot game. I mean, my God, they had no interest in playing for anybody, and they seemed to, whatever negativity was floating over there, and
Mm-hmm.
coordinator that seemed to have turned things around. They were willing to play. They were willing to go the extra mile for it. So, I know DJ came up lame a couple times and just shook it off and stayed in, because of, he's gotten obviously a lot of bad press this year with, quitting on plays and things. And it seems like they were there ready to play and in the right mindset. So yeah, I was pretty happy with it. The play calling was solid. There was a few plays here and there, but that's going to be it.
Yeah. I mean, you always can nitpick every single coach apart for something. But overall, I thought Thomas Brown's game plan, it seemed to be Caleb Williams, get the ball out of your hands quick.
Yeah.
Take a 2-3 step
Right.
drop, bang, ball's out. Bang, the ball's out. It seemed like he wanted to get that ball out quick, and he brought in the RPO action with Caleb running the ball a lot.
Right.
I mean, I'm never a fan of our quarterback getting hit, ever. But, I mean, overall, I thought it was a very good game plan. Now, this week we have a big test against Minnesota, an elite defense, an elite defensive coordinator. But Green Bay has a solid defense. So, overall, I like the game plan. It made sense, and it looked fluid.
Right.
And let me ask you something. How good was Caleb Williams on the final drive?
Yeah,
when you put that in perspective, first two plays, we take a sack. Me, you, and Clarence all said to each other at Boardwalk Billy's, here's my plug for Boardwalk Billy's, University area, Charlotte, North Carolina. So Chicago Clarence can't say I forgot the plug.
Right.
Please join us. But me, you, and Clarence all said game over. 3rd and 20. That game's over.
Yeah, the two sacks, the first two plays, they blitzed. They hadn't blitzed a lot, a little bit here and there, but then just a full out blitz on that final possession, and just the same stuff we've been seeing. Caleb holding the ball for 4 or 5 seconds, and then and then taking the sack. For him to turn that around on 3rd down after that and drive down the field, it showed improvement to me. It showed growth to me. So,
I mean, that 3rd down throw, he got out of a sack. He ducked a sack and hit Rome Odunze in stride. Right. And then the very next play, a back shoulder throw to Rome. And that was 4th and 3. We didn't need 16, 17 yards. Right. I mean, that was a huge throw.
Well, that was a sigh of relief when that came down, because it's like, I remember Clarence got off and said we didn't need that, but if it hadn't worked, that would have been bad.
So Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, who should be our number 2? For what I'm seeing, Rome needs to be elevated, and Keenan's not our future. I mean, no disrespect, because I love Keenan Allen. I always have.
I think I looked at the box score after, and I think that Keenan was, I don't know if he was 100% on targets, but he was pretty close. And I know that Rome was about 50% on targets. So, if he can get more consistent on that, I mean, he's a rookie too. If he can get in the, 65, 70% of receptions, targets gone his way, then, and you never know on some of that's, bad passes, and some of it's, whatever. You're not going to be 100%, but yeah, he's going to have to take over that role. I don't think there's any way we're paying, Keenan big money next year. So he's got to step into that role. And I think they were pretty even on targets. So, he should start assuming that the wide receiver 2 spot.
So Caleb Williams on 3rd down, he was efficient. He delivers on the final drive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was so good in this game. I was stunned at how good he looked. So, do we have our quarterback, Todd?
Yes,
he's the guy.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know that right now it's. Talking about Bo Nix as the number 2 quarterback out of this class. They've been hot. They're playing good, and and Jaden coming out of the gate as good as he was. But if you look over their last, I think it was 6 or 7 games, it was pretty comparable stats wise and we had some terrible games in that period. So, you're looking at like the last 6, I think it was 6 or 7 that they were comparing, and the numbers were about equal with Jaden Daniels. So if you throw out you look at the end of the season, if you throw out the worst couple of games for each of them, I think Caleb's numbers may even be better. So we'll see. But yeah, I think he's the way to go. We just have to make sure that we keep a offensive play caller that they're on the same page with. They're comfortable, the two of them together, the OC and Caleb, and or the head coach and Caleb.
Yes. So let me ask you, Thomas Brown.
Yes.
This offense just starts going upward, starts lighting a fire, just starts ascending. I mean, just goes off. What do we do with Thomas Brown if we truly believe Eberflus is gone?
Right.
What do we do with Thomas Brown if this offense just starts cooking and just starts ascending? What do we do?
I mean, it depends on what we do. If we bring in an offensive-minded guy, he's probably gone. I mean, if we bring in, if we bring in like a Vrabel or something like that, maybe he can interview the job. But every time we mandate something, if we bring in a GM, you have to keep this coach for a year, or if just don't tie the job to to Chris Morgan. Don't tie the job to Chris Morgan. Oh, you've got to keep this guy. Well, you can be the coach, but we're retaining. That's just nobody does that successfully. I don't think. It's just I don't know. It's one game. It's one game, and it's a rough schedule. So we'll see. I mean, if we can play 500, I'm laughing because I don't think we can. If we can play 500 ball from here out, then there's some legitimacy in trying to keep him. But I don't know if he's head coach material, and if he is, then what happens with the offensive coordinator there. I don't want to be in the same boat where our head coach is tied to our defense, calling plays, which is giving the situation we're in now. If we cut Eberflus, what are we doing? We're talking about what Eric Washington, who's been with us for 10 games. That's his total history. Then we're going to make him interim coach. I mean, it's just at that point, I kind of agree with the why fire him in the middle of the season. I think the season's lost. I mean,
yes, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. I mean, to the point where I'm watching mock drafts and I'm putting together information on free agents and I'm doing all that stuff because clearly, I think we're 14 right now as far as draft position is 14. And I think everybody higher than us has a significantly easier schedule. I was on Tankathon, I think, and I think our schedule was the hardest of the non-projected playoff teams. So, it may go higher. So we'll see. But
so Guy Walker, who's been on our show many times, says fire Chris Morgan's ass now. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that in the talk with when we drafted Darnell, I think that it seemed like Ryan Poles was pretty tight with Chris Morgan. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't matter that they're buddies or whatever else. But it seemed to me that at that time he was a big fan of Chris Morgan, talking about what he can do. And I know Clarence mentioned him a lot since he's not here. He's this week. All I've heard the last 2 days is how amazing Harbaugh is and all of that. So I know he'd be fired up about that. And that does seem to be true. I mean, they're projecting the final wild card spot to the Chargers in his rookie year. I mean, that's
Chicago Clarence said Morgan's fate is tied to Eberflus as it should be. And G Walker wants to chime in. So G Walker, you're on the show. So what do you got to say about what you saw on that field Sunday?
You know what, man? What's up, guys? Man, I'm off camera right now, but I got chewed out for being on camera while I was I was driving last time by my wife. So I picked up my son from practice. But I love what I saw, man. The first impressions was that It was Shane Waldron, man. It was a little bit of Caleb Williams, but it was Shane Waldron because the guys came in there like they hadn't skipped a beat. Like they know the playbook, but at the same time, the stuff that they weren't using their strengths. You know what I mean? Like how many times did we see DJ Moore in the backfield that game? We saw him like
Yes.
3-4 times catching the ball. How many times did we see Roman Dunze actually get the ball thrown up to him high to where only he could catch it like three times? Cole Kmet, the same thing. So I like what I saw. Thomas Brown is very aggressive. I don't know if it's because he's an ex-player. You know what I mean? He can relate to players a little bit more, a little bit better. But I like what I saw, man. I know we didn't get the win, of course. You know, we didn't get the win, but the fact that they could come back after firing the offensive coordinator in 1 week and come back like that and almost beat the Green Bay Packers on the field goal with 3 seconds left. If we play like that every week, I'll take it. I mean, I don't want to lose, but as long as we're looking like we're competent and it's looking like we want to play, like we want to win, that's what you want from your team. You know what I mean? That's what you want from your team.
Yeah. Chicago Clarence said, I am usually right. Told everyone we should have tried. We should have hired Harbaugh.
Oh, y'all talking about the coach?
Yeah, Clarence wanted Jim Harbaugh. I mean, Clarence would have drew up a contract by himself and got it signed. He would have been the agent to get Harbaugh in Chicago. I mean, I think we should have hired Harbaugh, but unfortunately, that ship has sailed now. You know, he's under a contract with the Chargers. They're a playoff team right now. I don't know.
The ownership don't have the guts to hire a guy like that, man.
No, it does not.
That's all it boils down to, man. Like Harbaugh is a man's man.
Yes.
He'll yell at any goddamn. Y'all remember how he was playing with the Chicago Bears? Yes. I was a kid, and I remember Mike Dicker used to cuss his ass out all the time for being hard. I loved it, man. Like he was a character, bro. He remains a character. He's tough. You know what I mean? And he'll get in your face, man. And that's not something that the McCaskies want as far as somebody lead their team. So. But I'm with Clarence on that though. I wanted Harbaugh too, but ship to sell. But yeah, man, I love Harbaugh, man. Crazy Jim.
Yeah,
I go Jim.
I mean, I think it's pretty sad that we could have had him, and Vic Fangio was a free agent defensive coordinator back then, and those two have worked together.
Yeah,
I mean, I
don't think that went well together, though. I think that was a problem. But anyway, I think you get strong personalities that are going to clash like that. But Kevin Warren and they have a hostile relationship, him and Harbaugh. And if Warren was in place,
for real?
Oh
wow!
Because Michigan beat their ass when he was at Minnesota.
Wasn't he the president of the conference for a year or two and gotten? Oh, I think it was a lot. Stuff. There was a lot of issues there, and
man,
as it was Warren in place, I don't think Harbaugh was ever really even considered. So
I guess that's a good answer. I guess that's an answer why they wouldn't, because Kevin Warren and him will clash a lot. I mean,
but I can replace Kevin Warren.
But like we said before, McCaskies are soft. They're not going to hire somebody that's going to get in your face and curse you out and put your finger in your face. You can see it on Hard Knocks. They didn't want any cursing. All the cursing was edited out. That's why it was basically a PG version of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Which is
but
fine.
Then at the same time, they don't want anybody that has any control, because why the hell now we should Flus has to get fired no matter what. But why? And I read a report like, why would he have to consult with McCaskey before he fired Shane Waldron? Jim Harbaugh will never do that. No. I read it like he had to consult with George to fire his offensive coordinator. Oh hell no, that would never happen with Jim Harbaugh. Like, why does the head coach have to consult with somebody that don't even know football?
I don't know. It's just the way the Bears do things. The Bears are still stuck in 1920 when they were founded.
Right.
I mean, we are still the only team who pays rent to play our games. We're the only franchise. That tells you everything you need to know about this franchise.
Yeah.
We're still stuck in 1920. And we bought the franchise for $100.
Right.
That's still how we operate.
Yeah, that's true. That's sad, man. They're a flagship franchise, man, and worth $6 billion. They print money. And the fact that they don't really put all the resources into what they need to. Like, what is going on with that stadium? Like, how are we trying to put a stadium at Michael Reese Hospital out here? But then y'all still got the land over there in Arlington and ain't doing nothing with that. Like, it's like a mess, man. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
So back to the game, Todd. The final
All right.
field goal. The final field goal. So
Yeah.
there's reports that Matt LaFleur told his team Saturday night in the hotel room, we are going to block this kick. We are going to get one. We're going to get one.
Right.
We're going to overload to the left because they have a weakness. So how does our scouting department not see that we have a weakness, which we already know we have weakness on the offensive line, but how can our scouting department not see that our line is bad like that on field goals and point afters?
Oh man, you know what? It's just a lack of good coaching, man. It's a lack of intensity. It's a lack of attention to detail on the playbooks with the players, putting the offensive lineman, whoever that are blocking in the right position to do it at the right time. Like, it's just a lack of focus, man. It's just a lack of focus and a lack of professionalism and a lack of football IQ and situational awareness coming from this football team, and it bites us in the butt almost more often than not, like the Hail Mary. Why the hell was Tyreek Stevenson back there? Just details.
Oh,
then we find out that was it Matt Pryor? You know what I mean? Was at the wrong place, or something was going on. It's just every chance they get to screw up, something's going to happen. It's like they're not a complete team, man. It's just we played almost a whole good game, and the fourth part of football came and bit us in the ass, which is special teams, man. And it's sad to see, but I will fire Chris Morgan. I don't even understand why he's still here after getting rid of the Shane Waldron. Like how does he get fired and you keep your offensive line coach? That's crazy.
Yeah. So Todd, field goal.
Yeah.
What do you say to Matt LaFleur basically telling everybody we're going to block a kick?
Well, you know that they obviously scouted that more than we do, right? I don't. When you have players calling out saying that this is all too lax and we need more. We need more control from the coaches, and we need more. I mean, when does that ever happen? When does a 20-something-year-old say, "Oh, you're not respecting the game enough" as the head coach, and say, we need to be more disciplined? I mean, that's just crazy. That look, when he came out and said that the play before the Hail Mary didn't matter. He should have been fired on the spot. That play, we weren't going to defend that play. We'll defend the next play. You defend every play. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yep.
Yes.
So, but anyway,
it's just, go ahead, Andy. I'm sorry.
I really don't understand why he's not fired. I really don't. I don't even have as a Chicago Bears fan, I don't have an answer why this man is still employed. Like I do not have an answer.
Did y'all see when Caleb? I put out a video earlier about Caleb Williams begging to go for the fourth down, begging your coach, man. And how does your quarterback have more heart than you? Not saying that that's a bad thing, but the quarterback and the head coach should match as far as intensity and as far as having a kill shot. It should match. Like Caleb was on the sideline on that 4th and 2 or 4th and 3. Come on, let's go. Begging to go for it. That alone right there tells everybody in Bears Nation or around the NFL that your own quarterback had to yell at you for you to go for it. That right there should be another strike for him to get fired, man. Like, Caleb was screaming to go for it. So Matt Eberflus is a scary coach. And when you have a quarterback that's a gunslinger and his mentality is to go for it, and he want to destroy defense, you got to fire that coach because it's not going to match. And that's what happened with Shane Waldron. Like, it was conservative, and then Caleb wanted to push it and do this and do that, and it's not working. So he's going. So like you said, like, how does he keep his job? Like, it's crazy.
I agree. Our boy Clarence said everything is tied to poor coaching. Yes, I agree. He's the worst situational coach. I agree we've ever had. Yes. 25 plus seconds and a timeout, and we don't run the ball to get closer.
Yeah.
Eberflus is on my list next to Chris Conte on my hate list.
That didn't even bother me. The people was mad at Eberflus for not getting more yards. Like, I don't understand. I was fine with that. Like, it was 3 seconds left. The field goal was in range for Cairo Santos' range.
Yes.
It just came down to execution.
Yeah.
Like, you can't blame the coach for that. Like, he didn't block. He didn't get the field goal blocked. He did everything what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? So everybody's looking for extra reason to blame the coach. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that one right there. Like, man, 3 seconds left. we in field goal range, kick it. Because if he makes that, we're not even saying that Eberflus should have ran the ball more, because it's not guaranteed that those yards that we're trying to get are guaranteed yards.
No, I
Because
agree
look what
with
happened
that.
in that one play where it was like 3rd and 19. Caleb got sacked 2 times, and then he had to go. He had to make 2 miracle throws at 3 and 19. So when you're a head coach and you see that your quarterback just went through that, and he just completed those miracle plays, the first chance I'm speaking personally, as soon as we get in the field goal range, I'm kicking and I'm making sure there's never no time left.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to keep our foot in the gas there. Todd, what would you have done? You kept the foot on the gas.
You know, if you can't play afraid of what could happen, you know, you have momentum. You know, it wasn't. You know, in today's NFL, it wasn't a long kick, but it certainly wasn't a chip shot.
46 yards at Soldier Field is no gimme. I've been there. That's no gimme ever at Soldier Field.
And Santos is pretty accurate, but he's not long. He's not like
no.
Mr. Giant.
Yeah, he's a little dude.
Right. So
he's more accurate than long.
You know, yeah, for sure. So
and our boy Chicago Clarence said his job is to put the team in the best position to win. Yes, you run another play there to get closer.
Right.
So Todd, if Matt
sir.
Eberflus was not the defensive coordinator, would he been fired by now?
We've never done it. So, but he should. You know, if the OC has another great game and Eberflus screws up enough, maybe he gets the interim tag and then see what happens at the end of the season as far as who we can get and all of that. But you know, but I still, you know, just over 100 years of existence and we've never done it. Why would we start now? And it isn't like, you know, different ownership. This is one ownership for 100 years. So I just, especially, you know, for with our schedule, for us to make the playoffs is near impossible. So what would be the point of this, you know?
So Tony says Santos is 100% inside 40, 75%, 45 plus.
Yeah.
They should have ran the ball one more play. I mean, I guess we could sit here and argue about that all night long, I guess. I mean, some think he should have ran a play, some I guess what's your preference? My preference is always be aggressive, put your foot on the gas and go. But I work on diesel trucks for a living, so I'm always going to be go.
I still have a problem with that Christian Watson catch. I don't think he caught that ball. At least I've seen worse calls go the other way. I mean, I think the ground assisted that catch.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I'm at least happy that you and Clarence right away said challenge that play. That was one play he should challenge, and he finally got a challenge right. He didn't win it, but it was worth a challenge for sure.
But he acted on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Walker?
Yes.
I think the call on the field, if it would have been called the other way, incomplete, I don't know if it would have been overturned. I think the call
the ball
on the field
hit the ground.
huge. I think
it hit the ground.
Yeah, I think he needed the ball. He needed the ground to help him control the ball.
Yeah. But it was so you're saying that they wouldn't have if the refs had called it incomplete and the Packers would have challenged it, it would have stood incomplete. It's just it wasn't enough to change it.
No, there was not enough.
Right.
Yeah, because it hit the ground so fast, and he had control. Like it was immediately he had control. Like immediately,
it honestly did not move that much. It moved a little bit, but it wasn't a huge movement like sometimes we've seen.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
But clearly, the point of the ball hit the ground. I mean, there's no question. But anyway,
I just feel like right there, the call on the field was huge. If it would have been incomplete, I think it would stayed incomplete. So let me ask you guys something. Montez Sweat, where's he been? I looked at the ESPN stats. He's credited with 1 tackle. We're paying him a lot of money. ESPN box score has him down for 1 tackle. He only has 3.5 sacks for us. Where is Montez Sweat at?
Did he miss a game or maybe a game and a half?
He has missed one game, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe
I think it was one game.
Yeah.
But when we traded for him last year, he was a unstoppable force.
Yeah.
And he had more sacks. And Tony says his ankle was hurting. And that could be true. It could be something we don't know. You know, some teams will try to hide injuries. But where is Montez Sweat been? Like he has been quiet
he's not the
all
player
year.
he was when he first got here. He's not that. at all.
I mean,
Like
the only
he's
difference
damn near
is
non-existent on pressures, man. Like
right.
he's nowhere near what we was doing last year, man, and it's starting to hurt us.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have any help on the other edge, but and then last year we had a little bit of help, but not much different. So I don't.
Chicago Clarence says Sweat is injured, but he's still gutting it out.
Well, that may be the case.
Yes, I just.
Okay.
I mean, we just really need his production because we have none. All of a sudden, we have no pass rush.
Yeah, and we can't stop the run.
No,
you know, I mean,
we lost Billings.
We did a good job of pretty much stopping the run against Green Bay. You know, Josh didn't really have no big runs against us. He didn't have no really big runs.
No, I was happy with our run defense. We got gashed here and there, but I really hate that we lost Billings. Like I said before, I thought he was our best player this year on the defensive line. And Tyreek Stevenson, what is going on with this kid? He only played half the snaps on Sunday. Me and Todd, I know me and Todd whispered to each other, Stevenson hurt? Like, where is he?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't out there for part.
I looked at the snap.
I think he lost a little bit of his confidence.
He played half the snap count on Sunday. And they gave Terrell Smith a lot more snaps. And they had Sanborn in as a third linebacker a lot.
Yeah, we were running 3 linebackers almost.
I think it was to stop the run.
Yeah, that's not something we've been doing. So
I think it was more to stop the run, bring up a linebacker to help stop the run. But Stevenson doesn't even look like the same player he did as last year.
We're getting confidence back, but it's hurting us right now. But
so, Todd, anything else you want to say about him?
Yeah, I got a correction. We're talking about the Odunze Allen thing. Yeah. I was wrong. Rome had 10 targets and caught 6 balls. That's actually better than Keenan. He was 4 on 8 targets. So I don't know where I got that in my head that he was that his receptions versus his target share was down. I think it's time for him to move into that second receiver role. I don't know what we're going to do for a third receiver because obviously we have no confidence in Tyler Scott. I don't think he's played more than handful downs all year. So
man, he hasn't played a snap.
So Walker, were you on the show and I asked the question, would you elevate Rome to number 2 and move Keenan to number 3? Because Rome looks like the better wide receiver right now. Would you make that move?
Yeah, I mean, the more can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Tony said.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would put Rome at the 2 wide. I mean, you got to keep growing him, man. You got to keep making sure Rome is becoming the number 1 wide receiver. And so why not just keep on making him, be the guy? Like, put him in number 2 wide receiver, man. He deserves it. He's been playing better than Keenan Allen for the last 3-4 weeks. He keeps proving to us why he was picked number 9. You can throw it up there to him. He can catch it. He's physical. He's fast. You can put him in the backfield. So everything that he's been advertised to be, we saw it with Thomas Brown Sunday. So I will promote him, man, because Keenan Allen's looking like a 1-year rental.
Yeah, he is.
Why not give those catches and those reps to the guy that you drafted 9th overall and keep developing him and keep building his confidence over a guy that's probably going to go to a contender next year anyway and try to win the championship. So I just stay with my young stud and Rome Odunze and let him and Caleb cook.
Yeah.
So Tony said Tony believes Terrell Smith is the better quarterback than Stevenson and should be starting.
I don't know about that.
Wow.
Oh, Smith is solid number 3. I don't think he's better, but Tony's entitled to his opinion.
But what have you seen, Tony, to make you say that? You know what I mean? Like, what have you seen? Because he doesn't have that many snaps as a starting 2 cornerback on his team. So what make you think that he's better than Tyreek Stevenson? I just want to know. Just want to ask.
And Chicago Clarence thinks that Rome has not proved himself. We shouldn't make any changes. I think Rome has proved himself.
Yeah, he got more targets. He got the most targets of all the receivers last week.
And Rome and CW are the future. Like these 2 kids are going to grow. Theoretically, should grow together and spend 10+ years together. These 2 kids are the future.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, they were drafted together. They wanted to play together. That was almost
and
no secret. Yeah. I mean, Keenan Allen.
Right.
I like I said,
And
I
he
love
went to
Keenan
him.
Allen. I have nothing but love and respect for Keenan Allen. He's probably going to get Hall of Fame consideration. I don't know if he gets in. That's another conversation. But I love Keenan Allen. But I just think Rome is better right now than Keenan is.
Well, if he gets a Super Bowl with the Chiefs next year, he might.
Yeah, that's true.
I like. I really like. Yeah,
you're breaking up real bad. Go ahead, Todd.
I like Keenan in that third down role just to get to the markers and catch the ball. That's where he excelled in San Diego and then LA. Obviously after the move, but he was the guy that converted the third down. And what a lot of tight ends do. He played that role, and he can certainly still do that.
Oh, we got another comment.
Yeah.
Clarence. None of this means shit. Clarence is on the road.
Yeah.
Carr and Adams played together in college. Where'd that get them in Vegas?
Right. Well,
that's true.
You have to have the other pieces too, and it was Derek Carr. So, he can look great and then look terrible. So, like Kirk Cousins.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was saying that, and Caleb went to Rome at the end of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that lets you know, like, hey, I'm going to you here, and he went to him twice, man. So that's just a glimpse into the future of what we're probably going to see going forward with Caleb in Rome. Like, that's what you want to see.
Sure.
If you drafted those guys, you want to see that your number one overall pick and your number 9 overall pick wide receiver do something at the end of the game where you can say, you know what? This is going to be a good investment for the next 10 to 12 years. And Rome's looking like that guy. So, yeah, that's one to grow on, man. Rome should definitely be the number 2 wide receiver to me. I think he's proved himself, and I think he deserves it, man, because Keenan Allen, as good as he is, he's not really going to be consistent enough to help this team at all going forward, especially.
I mean, his salary dictates he's not going to be here next year unless he agrees to a massive pay cut.
Yeah, well,
I think his salary is $27 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we got Rome on a rookie deal. Let's take advantage of that.
Right.
Right. So, guys, out of curiosity, Jonathan Owens.
Yeah.
Would any of you guys have played him over Hicks? Because he might have an axe to grind. Because Hicks has not looked that good to me at safety. Would any of you guys make a change there? Hicks is not. I mean, he fell down on that one long bomb to Watson.
Yeah.
Would any of you guys have?
I don't know.
There, because he is an axe to grind. He was let go by Green Bay. That's how we got him.
You would think you'd get him a little more action there. He has 1 tackle as opposed to Hicks had 4.
Hicks has not looked that good at safety.
Solo,
yeah. I would give him a chance, man. I would give him a chance. I mean, it depends on how long these guys got deals for. Like, if he's a back-end depth guy, like, how long is his deal? Like, if his deal is just for a year, like, it really don't matter. Like, we're not in position to make the playoffs. So it's like, if his deal is not beyond 2-3 years, I mean, it really don't matter. That's just my opinion. Like, it don't matter if they play him or not, man. It don't matter. Yeah. What is he going to do? What is he going to do to help us win? That's the biggest question. Like, what is he going to do to help us win?
That's why I would give him a shot. I would give Owens a shot because I mean we don't know what he can do really. And Clarence says Hicks has been pedestrian at best, which is why I would give Owens a shot. I mean, it can get worse, but
Owens is on a 2-year deal. He's signed through next year.
Yeah.
Oh well, see, for me personally, that makes me, you know what? I'm with Andy on there. Well, I will give him a shot then. If he signed here, you might as well, man. If he signed for another year, depending on Brisker, if he ever comes back, depending on what we draft with our draft picks, we're going to draft another safety. So I'm thinking, man, I'm with Andy, man. Now that I know he signed for another season, they probably won't cut him because he is a good special teams player too. So I'll give him a shot based off his deal, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Hicks's deal goes through 2026 also.
He's on a rookie deal.
Byards does, but it was loaded on the front end, and I think we save like 5-6 million if we let him go. But he's been pretty solid. If we draft a safety, in the first 3 or 4 rounds, probably cut him and save that money. I'm guessing, but I want all linemen in the first 4 or 5 picks. That's I mean,
that first pick got to be a pass rush, though, right? That first pick is a pass rusher, man.
It depends on where it
falls.
What
you think about that?
Yeah, the defensive line is supposedly pretty solid in this draft. Overall, it's a pretty weak one, they're saying. So I don't know. There might be enough defense in the second round if we can get one of the top couple tackles. But I think everybody, the top 2 or 3 guys they're talking about are kicking them inside. So but that's where we need the most help anyway, is inside. We'll see.
I'm with you though, Todd. We need all offensive linemen we can get. I'm with you on that though. Anything after that first pick, it needs to be all offensive linemen, bro.
My first 4 picks would be 2 offensive linemen and 2 defensive linemen, or maybe 1 defensive lineman and 3 offensive linemen. But we just have to. We just have to.
Yeah, we are. You can see that we're short. We are short in the trenches. We can't get it done in the trenches. Right. Yeah. We can't get it done in the trenches. We have no pass rush. We have no rush defense without Billings, and our offensive line is horrible. Yeah. We have to fix it.
Should be able to get a run stopper in like the third round. Those guys don't go as high if it's purely just they don't have a lot of pass rush potential. Those guys are still out there, big beefy guys that stop the run. Because I've watched the Bears forever. I'm not used to seeing teams run on us. Even when we were bad, in the last 7 or 8 years, we've been able to stop the run pretty effectively. But anyway.
Isn't it sad? We already see what the off-season need list is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and new coaching staff.
We're all talking. Yeah, well,
that's a lot.
The most important thing is to find the right coach.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So we just lost G. Walker.
Yeah, we did.
So Todd, go ahead and give us your final thoughts about our Chicago Bears before we sign off.
Well,
he's back.
Okay, the Thomas Brown, that was encouraging. Caleb, playing hard, willing to run the ball, all that was really, really encouraging. The defense was okay. I mean, we still gave up a relatively small number for the NFL, but we just looked beatable, and their ability to just get down the field in under 2 minutes just drives me crazy. So
yes,
that's not going to be every team, but Minnesota's. They've got a couple great receivers, and they can run the ball too, and they've got a decent offensive line, and they've got a really high-ranked defense right now.
So yes, I was going to say Minnesota is going to be a big test for Thomas Brown in his offense.
Right, and if we're going to beat
his defense, is not a joke. Brian Flores is another coach we could have had.
He'll blitz you all day. He's going to blitz all day.
Brian Flores is another coach that we could have had, but we didn't like the way he talked either. He was too nasty.
Well, and he got ran out of Miami. I don't even remember what the controversy was, but
because he was too aggressive and nasty.
Our ownership's not gonna. We'd rather lose and be nice citizens. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big test. This Minnesota defense will show what kind of offensive coordinator we really got.
We're playing them.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what Thomas does. Like, I'm excited to see because, he did a good job with Caleb this game. Okay. And he was sitting up top inside the suites. Yeah. He wasn't even on the field. So that lets you know that he's not on the field. He wants to see the whole field instead of being on the field with the coaches. No, I want to sit up high in the suite so I can see everything. That right there lets you know that he's serious, man. Like, he's taking it very serious. Yeah. He's smart.
Yeah, that's a unique change. I mean, you can see the whole field. You can see the routes. You see what the defense is in. So, that's a very unique change, having the offensive coordinator up in the booth. But I'm fine with it. If we win and we score points, I'm fine with that. So, G. Walker, what are your final thoughts about our Chicago Bears before we sign off?
I mean, it's just cool to see. My final thoughts is just to see Caleb be able to adjust on the fly to let you know that it's not him. You know what I mean? Like, my thing was, like, how fast is he going to adjust to what Thomas Brown wants to do? And it was one game. Now he didn't throw any touchdowns, but he didn't turn the ball over, and he was clutching the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? And he was communicating, and he wanted to win, and he made Eberflus go for it on fourth down when his own coach didn't even want to do it. So Rome is looking like he's going to be the future. The defense, man, the defense still a defense. You still got to beat us, man. So it's like we can't beat ourselves. Like we have to have some of these games where we don't beat ourselves. That Packers game was a game where we almost didn't beat ourselves. So if there's any type of juice, any type of continuity coming in Sunday, I expected it to carry over because that was a smart detail that why they lost that game. It was a big detail, but it was kind of small compared to how they played the whole game on offense and on defense to me. So I think that they carry over with some excitement, with some more momentum. And like Caleb said, he'll have Cairo Santos and those guys out there all over again and do it all over again. So your quarterback believes in you. So he was up on the podium. He said that. So let's rock and roll, baby. That's my final thoughts. Let's have a good game. I want a hard-fought game, and I cannot wait to see what Thomas Brown and Caleb do with this offense Sunday, man. I'm hyped, bro. I'm hyped. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Yes. So my final thought, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the comments.
Yeah.
And catch G Walker at CNG Podcast. Please check him out. And
along with Allen and CJ.
Yes. And we got another comment from Chicago Clarence. G Walker, thanks for pinch hitting tonight. We appreciate you, brother.
Man, it's nothing, bro. Like whenever y'all need me, man, I'm always gonna pull up, man. I love you guys, man. I love working with y'all, man. So
guys, like I said, please check us out on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And so if Chicago Clarence is happy, please join us this Sunday at Boardwalk Billy's in the University area. If you live in Charlotte, North Carolina area. So until next time, beat the Vikings, bear down, go Bears. Thank you.
Bear down. Let's go.